my screen. This one. And in the chat, can you let me know if you guys can see this? Say yes. If you, okay, we see Robert. Yes, yes. Okay. So today we want to learn how to have game-like character control, which is setting up the puppet stage. Okay, my audio, they say my audio is a bit low. Let me just check that out. Oh, yes. Thank you for that correction. Is this better? Hello, hello. I'm testing. Better, I think. Okay, yes, Colin. I'm looking at the chat for your feedback, guys. So you guys are also helping me improve the presentation. Thank you. And because this is being recorded for prosperity, this is it's so great that you cut that. Thank you so much. Thank you, Colin. Okay, so that this is what we want to do. And before I start, any of you have Cartoon Animator? You're distorting a little bit. Okay. The clipping apparently is clipping a little bit. I'm saying if it's okay. So just type no. Okay, Uli, you say you don't have it, and then yes, yes, we have a couple. Most of you have it already. And then I'm looking for someone who doesn't have. Also, like type no if you don't have it, or yes, or you can also type the okay, Marlene, you don't have it. Yes, Stan, you don't have it. Stan L, could that be Stan Lee? And then yes, yes. So most of you have it. Only a couple of you don't. For those of you who don't have it, uh, can the Revolution team drop the link for them to download it? So all of you can download a free trial. And then also, I'm going to drop in a file in here. Thank you so much. And I'm dropping a link to download a project file. Today is only one little program, right? I mean, project file. It's going to be very simple, but we're gonna do a lot of things on that single file. It's all the setup, right? So for those of you who want to download it, it's very simple. I just clicked. It's actually very, very small. You can click download, and let me see how big this is. It's I mean, it's just a project, 22 megabytes. So it should be something that you can download pretty easy. Okay, so while you install Cartoon Animator, etc., we'll download tomorrow. Yes, you can download tomorrow, Rob. Uh, and the Revolution tip, could you save that link so it's posted also on YouTube for anyone watching there, and also the people who watch the. Here it is. Elijah, nice to see you here. Here's the link again for the project file. Okay, so this is what we're gonna learn today, right? And that is to set up hotkeys in Puppet Stage. That is basically like setting up the controller of the game you're gonna be playing. Like if I press forward, it will do this. You do something like that. Like we set up hotkeys, and every time we press a key, the character will do an action. All right, and then another one that I like a lot is using the mouse to control motion speeds. That's especially useful for characters that are running, and whenever you move the mouse, it's animated, right? And then another one is configuring body and facial motions, because you can be pressing one button and animates the body, and then you press another button and then it's animating the face. And both can be animated at the same time, right? And then controlling the character positions with the motion pilot feature. This is one of my favorite features here. And then setting up moving props. This is where I believe we're gonna spend most of today, because this one is very complicated and I want to help all of you guys to be able to do moving props that help so much to create very expressive animations. Now, I saw earlier in the chat like, hey, can you speak slower? Is this okay with you guys? With the rhythm, I don't want to go too fast, and at the same time, I don't want to like bore you to death. Okay, so for me, it's good. Okay, thank you, Vicky. Yeah, me too. Awesome. So after this is basically the webinar, but also we're gonna be doing a giveaway session. This is important for those of you who are familiar with my webinars. I like to give away courses, right? So I will give 2 courses for free, and also we're giving 2 more things. We're gonna give uh, Cartoon Animator. For one of you who don't have it, you will get a full license. So that's amazing news for you. That will be your Christmas present. Santa is coming earlier this year, a couple of days earlier. And then we're also going to give away, if I'm not please correct me, the Revolution team, if I remember correctly, also one of the what was it, the presets for when you use the live motion capture, right? Alrighty, so the after the giveaway session, we will have the Q&A session. Now when I do the giveaway, I usually need to set up something, have you guys enroll. So you have to be here when we give away these prizes. If you're not here, you won't be able to be eligible. How? Because I ask you guys to enroll to this giveaway, and so you have to type in the chat if you would like to participate. Sometimes there's not enough people, but if there's enough, like the less probably the more chances you have for winning, right? So we do want to do it like this, and I give you only a 30-second window for you to log in and just tell me if you want to be part of the giveaway. All right, that's for the giveaway session. And then I'm going to do also like 2 lists. One is for everybody, and the other list will be for those of you who don't have Cartoon Animator, or if you have Cartoon Animator but we would like to give a copy to someone who you know wants it, right? As a, hey, look, I get you this, and this over $100 prize to you, and then you don't have to tell them that you get it for free. So that's it. Let's get started. And so I'm going to be checking with this list. We have this list right here, and we're gonna be going one by one. These first couple are very easy and simple to do. This is the one that is a little bit more complicated. So let's go one by one. First is setting up hotkeys in the Puppet stage. Now, if you want to follow along and for some reason you didn't have access to the file that I provided here, like I'm gonna provide it one more time. I have it here, copy, paste, and the Revolution team, if you could please take that link and paste it also on YouTube, so people who watch the replay later, maybe you're watching this in the future, please check that, like the link should be there for the project files. Alrighty, so any of you can follow along without the project file by just importing any character that you want. In this case, I could be importing, let's say, Ariel 2, and then could not copy, it says. I don't know what that means. Something you couldn't copy. And then this is like all you do is have a character, and then question here for the people here in the chat. Any of you have already used Cartoon Animator? Just type yes, a little, a lot. Like I want to probe a little bit about their experience. Yes, a little, a couple of you, a lot. Alrighty. Vicky, you have used it a lot. Yes, enough, says Robert. A little bit, a little bit. Most of you, yes. Followed one tutorial. All right, Colin, that's exactly how you get started, with one tutorial. And then a little bit, a lot, yes, used well, and then some letters, YMMV. Then quite a bit. Okay, perfect. So a lot of you have already used it, and then Leo degrants, not as much as I should. Alrighty. So never, like Todd, you say you've never used it. Okay, so I was looking for some of you who haven't used it. So in Cartoon Animator, I was probably going a little bit fast. If you go to content, which by the way, some of you have a Mac. I know some of my students have a Mac. And actually, some students opted to buy a laptop just so they could have Cartoon Animator 5 because really is that powerful. And that student is actually a YouTuber. So it makes sense for him, right? Shout out to Mr. Kipley and his awesome animations that get millions of views, by the way. So this one is in Cartoon Animator 4 is a little bit different. You have tabs in here where you can select actor. In Cartoon Animator 5, you would go to template. Well, first make sure that you have content, and then template. I like to go item instead of pack. And then from actor, you can select a lot of different categories, right? Right now it's showing me everything that I have in the library. But if I click here, it filters only the G3 360 humans, right? So all you do is click and drag and you're ready to start. Look at that. So that's pretty quick. Now, if I wanted to animate, I would go to animation, and in Cartoon Animator 4, you would see it as a tab on the side. So I'm gonna open animation right here and then open 2D motion and then G3. And that will, let me select female. That filters out only for like clips for females. So what are these moving clips? Like what the heck is that? Well, if I have this character selected and I click and drag any of this into her, or because I have her selected, I can just double click, it will start animating that. So look, I have dance, and that's number one, and then dance number two, L. The S stands for start, and then L stands for loop, and then this stands for ending. So I'm going to click and drag into her, and then look at that. She's moving, and then I click and drag the next one, which is a loop. And then because it's a loop, I can bring another loop, that's number two. And then finally, I'm going to click and drag number three, which is the end of the dance. So look at this. In the timeline, now I am in frame 198. I'm going to click to go to the beginning. And if I play, woo, look at that. Okay, so that's one way of animating, and that's how in Cartoon Animator 4 and 5 you used to animate. But after this last update, 5.3, you are able to do those actions by pressing one button. That's exactly what we're gonna get today. So I'm going to remove all the animation. The one way that you could do that is you can click here to open the timeline, make sure you have the character selected, and then I like to have this property activated, which is the track selected. What was the name? The object related track. That means only the timeline will only show whatever I have selected. And then if I click on motion, you can see the three clips that I added. That's clip number one, this clip number two, which is repeated, and then this is the clip of the end, right? Now, I want to go to the beginning and then right click on the workspace, and then I'm going to click remove object animation. That remove everything, all the clips and everything. So I'm gonna close the timeline. And with that, instead of her doing this, I am going to import all of these into a puppet stage, right? Right now, I'm not using the, like, first I want to give you a walk around really quick to all of you who are in the, like the first time you've used it, like Christopher, some of you like Courtney, you haven't used it yet. This is a perfect time to play with it. So look at this. If I click the puppet panel, which by the way, let me just do something. Some of you might, hey, Mark, wait. I am trying to click. This has happened to some students. Like, Mark, I'm trying to click and there's nothing. That is because you have nothing selected in the workspace. But if I select her, you will see how this turns on, right? So let me just click on her. Look, now I have this active. So I'm going to click on Puppet Panel, and in here, look, I can drag motions. Like any of this, I can click and drag into here, and then I will be able to control her by just pressing the keyboard, like shortcuts. So first, let's use, for example, this one, the anger. I'm gonna add anger, just click and drag, and then this is another type of anger, but that's not the one that I want. Let's use this, the complaint, and then we're gonna do the dancing loop, right? So we have those three, and you can see on the top it says QWE. Anyone can tell me what are those? Anyone? I want to see in the chat if there's people who already know how to use it, and oh, I know how to use it. That means what are those? Anyone? Start of query, triggers, the password. Keystrokes, exactly. Very good, Jenny and Pauline. Yes, those are keys. So what? Wait, I'm pressing the Q. Nothing is happening. Anyone can tell me why this is not working? Like why? I'm pressing Q, W, and E. Actually, let me show. Look, I'm pressing the letter Q. Yes, exactly, Robert. Very good. I first need to click on preview, and then it says I need to press space. Perfect. Now, look at this. I press Q. Whoa, look at that. And then I press W, and then she does something else. And then I press E, and then she starts dancing. But there's a problem. She stops, right? I'm lifting my hand in here. So I'm going to press ESC to stop the preview. And then in the setting of the E of her dance, I'm going to click here once. And that it's going to mean that, look, right now, it won't play once like all the other ones. It will play forever. It's gonna be looping. Okay, for those of you, this was too far, I'm zooming in, right? So this one has a 1. That means that if I press W, it plays only once, and if I press E, it will play forever. Let's see if that's true. I'm gonna press preview space, and then I press the Q, and then after it finishes, it won't be repeating. Let's see if that's true. Yep, it finished. Like you can see that even this got disabled. But if I press E, she's gonna keep dancing forever and ever. Look at that. I'm not doing anything. Why? Because this is playing, right? So those are the basics. I strongly encourage you to play with this. Now, because you guys are here live, we are going to be like just hang in here. I'm gonna teach the whole thing. But if you check this as a replay, I recommend you pause the video right now and go in and play with this. It's so much fun. Like, ooh, you just press things. I'm gonna show you even more things, but for now, this is enough for you to start practicing and play. I think it's a lot of fun. So let's now open the file that I had some of you download, right? I'm just gonna click and drag, and then no, I don't want to save it. And this is something that I will be using, like for this character, I'm gonna be using a couple of paid material that you don't have to have. You can use anything else. But because I have much more fun with this one, this package, Mission Moves, this is a package. Let me see, right click. I think, no, it has to be on pack, right? Anyhow, yeah, I wanted to see if pose, move. Let me see, right click. And view product page. Yes, this is what I wanted to do. So this is a package that, remember, if you answer right now, they have a promotion, 24% off apparently. Or I don't know if because I'm a member. But if you remember any of you, if you get like you answer the survey and you help the Revolution team, you will get more off, right? So this is a one that I strongly recommend. It's a lot of fun. You're gonna see why. And which, by the way, you don't have to get any of this. Like this is people who prefer to spend time to save money. But if you don't have any money, you spend time. So you can just create a couple of animations and then save them as clips. Would you guys like to know how to do that? I can show you later in this tutorial, right? Well, for now, yes, please, says Colin. Okay, Colin, I can show you then. And Vicky, awesome. We have two people interested. So I'm going to now go to mission moves. And then in here, I'm going to type, oh, wait a second. I first need to open the puppet stage. And then I'm going to type, let's fight. I'm going to use the fight position, I think is the pose or stunt. Okay, it's this one. So it's the fight, but I'm not gonna use this is a quick animation of start, loop, and end. When I use puppet stage, I like to use the loop. So I'm gonna click and drag, and then I'm going to use punch. Punch, there you go. And then I'm going to also need a kick. There it is. And finally, I like the backflip. I type back, here's the backflip. So now I have all these elements, right? Now, check this out. This is where I believe I get excited about this. I press preview. Remember, you have to press preview, otherwise this won't work. And then I press space, and then look, I press Q, and then she starts doing that, but then it stops. We don't want that. And first, if I wanted to repeat this, what would I do? Anyone on the chat tell me? Let's see if you guys are paying attention. This is a little exam, pop quiz. How do you make this loop? Yes, I click here until boop, I remove the one and I have this on loop. Very good. Lorne, your answer was very precise. Click the loop icon in the right corner. Very good. So now I'm gonna press preview and press space. And then if I press Q, now look, she's gonna be looping that animation forever and ever. That's pretty cool. Until I press something else. I can press W, and then she does jab, jab, uppercut, and then stops. Hey. Now, if you pay attention to video games, can you add a number to the loop? Not really. That's not I've never thought about that. But what you could do is just play it a couple of times and then you can just stop it. Okay, Jenny says yes. Let's see. I'm gonna double click and then let's see if I loop it. Oh no, apparently not. Well, at least I don't know if there's a way. But one thing that I like to do is, do you see this pin on top of every single one? I'm gonna click on the Q. That means I'm gonna hover the mouse there. This is going to be the default motion. Let me disable it, press preview, and then press space. As you can see, she stays like that until I press letter Q, right? But if I set up this pin as the default, I press preview, I press space, I never pressed Q, ever. And she already started. Now, if I press W to the jab, jab, uppercut, she returns to the Q. Ooh, that's pretty cool. Now this is like video games. And then I kick and then backflip to evade like some attack. And then jab, jab, attack. That is so cool, isn't it? Okay, so those are a couple of things that I really, really like about this. And what if you wanted to change the shortcuts? Like, yeah, I don't want, let's say that instead of R, you want something else. What do you do? Anyone? How do I change the hotkey here? Let's see who knows a little bit of Cartoon Animator here in the chat. Like, if I don't like W or E, click the letter, yes. But it's not just click, it's something else. Okay, Vicky, you have no idea. David, you're double click, very good. Double click, and then I can press, for example, H, and then click away. And now, if I press Q, look, I pressed Q, and then I press W, and then I press E, and in the past, it was R. Look, I'm pressing R, nothing happens, but if I press H, now it does the backflip, right? So that is pretty cool. Now I'm gonna return this to the letter R, and then it's double click. Now, if you double click on the clip here, you get all these options, right? Like you can disrupt motion, you can move in place, etc., etc., etc. So we're gonna leave all of this like that for now. We're gonna explore it a little bit later where we will do some adjustments. Now, one more thing that I like to do is activating the motion pilot. Anyone knows what the motion pilot is? Just say yes, I know, or no. Like, I'm just gonna activate it. Yes, yes. Ooh, a couple of yous. Jenny, you don't know what it is. Mark, you don't know what it is. Stan and Fairs. Okay, so a couple of you not quite. Okay, very good. Thank you for I like that this crowd is very active. Alrighty. So what happens in here is if I have the motion pilot active, that means that if I move my mouse, the character would move. And I can change the settings if by clicking on motion pilot. Right now you can see if I move the X, that is the like moving my mouse sideways, and then this is Y, up and down. And then Z axis is going into like I'm trying to put like an arrow at perspective drawn with the mouse, like in and out, right? Right now it's on 0. So let's leave it like that. And I'm going to show you face cursor, but I like to have it disabled. For now, I'm going to leave it enabled and just put this to the side, press preview, space, and then look. Woohoo! I can move my mouse and it's moving the character. Look at that. Isn't that pretty cool? So that means I can be doing this like, and then if she does a kick, I can do the kick moving forward. But this, like switching this, switches the direction. I don't like that because if I want to do the backflip, let me just show you again why I don't like it. Because if I press the backflip, it's going to be a little bit weird when she does the backflip. So for that, in the motion pilot, I just disable face cursor so it won't be flipping. I press preview, space, and then R, and then I move the mouse. Isn't that cool? And then the kick, and then R, and then she goes back. And then kick. That is pretty cool. Then in the uppercut, I go a little bit forward, and then she can go back by moving the mouse. Now, all of these can be recorded. How do I record? Anyone? Yes, I played with it. Okay, a couple of you have played with it. Yes, how do I record? Because let's say that I'm happy and then I would like that to become an animation. I cannot see the animation. Sorry, no animation lag. Record button. Yes, press the record button. By the way, some of you say it's lagging. I don't know if it's it could be a little bug on Zoom. So I'm gonna stop sharing really quick and share back again. Let me share the screen and see if that improves this signal a little bit. Okay, preview. And then do you see doing the backflip? I'm not lag. If not, it could be your connection. For now, I just want to make sure that some of you are seeing, like, I'm doing backflip now. It happened then. Okay, so it's not lagging for some of you. Okay, still lag, Batty. Okay, if it's lagging, then probably could be your internet connection because for a lot of you, it's working okay. Alrighty, so let's continue. Right now, we have covered how to set up the hotkeys, and then we're gonna check that later. We have done only body, but right now we are doing this one, right? The controlling character positions with the motion pilot feature. we're gonna jump into those in a little bit. Okay, so right now we have her, and I want to record a little animation, right? I'm going to go to the beginning, press, instead of preview, this was very correct. A couple of you guessed it correctly. Let me see. Fairs, Robert, yes, it's a record button. I press record and then space, and now this is gonna be recorded. Space, and then we're gonna do a kick and then backflip. Very good. I press space and look, now I go to the beginning, and all of this, I'm not gonna be pressing anything. I hit play and this is now playing. Look, I have the mouse moving here in another direction. Isn't that cool? That is, tell me yes or no, is this game like control animation or not? What's up? This is pretty cool, right? Okay, yes, very cool. Says, yeah, like this, guys, this is game changing. A lot of software, you need to sit down for hours and hours. How much did that take me? I just set it up a little bit and I animate in 1 second. It's, yes, Robert, exactly. It saves so much time. Like Cartoon Animator is so powerful in this respect. Okay, so now let's see this item, like moving using the mouse to control motion speeds. Right? So now I'm going to, instead of having this, the punches run like that, like if I press preview and then I press W, she does that, right? Now I want to control the punches by moving my mouse so I can time it exactly the way I want it. So for that, remember I could click here and that does a loop. I'm gonna click again. Boom. Do you see that now there's a mouse? Anyone can notice that? I'm gonna zoom in. Can anyone notice that mouse? Let me know in the chat. Yeah, I like it. Okay. This one is looping forever. This one loops only once, and this one is a mouse. Let me see. Yes. Okay, a couple of you see the mouse perfectly well. That means, look, if I press preview and space and then W, she's not doing anything, but then I start moving my mouse and then she's doing this. Do you see? So if I move the mouse, if I move it fast, and if I move it a little bit slower, it does all those animations, right? So that is pretty cool. Now, for this fighting one, it doesn't make sense. I'm gonna click here. Instead, I'm going to use a running animation. All right, let's do a running animation. For this, I'm gonna go to motion and then just type run. And let's see what animations do we have. I'm gonna use this one, run. And this is the looping motion. I'm going to click and drag into here. Now I don't want it to be T. Instead, I'm going to double click and press A. This will be A. So let's see what happens. And this would have to be, let me just press here and then A. Yes, okay, perfect. So I want her to move like this, but with the mouse. And for this one, I want the motion pilot to be facing the cursor. Okay, I'm gonna click here and then click again, and now it's the mouse right there. All right, so let me press preview. And for this, I'm going to need to zoom out. I know a couple of you are totally new to Cartoon Animator, so I'm gonna go a little bit slow in this instruction. If you press Alt and then both clicks, you zoom in and out, which is pretty cool. Now, if I only press Alt and then click and drag, I pan the view. Wait a second, I need to get just a sip of water. Talking too much. And now I'm gonna press, let me zoom out a little bit so we can see her run. And I'm gonna press space and then I'm gonna press A and space. I need to do it again. Space. There it is. So I now press A and look. Woo! So I can now have this animation now makes a lot of sense, right? This is where you use it. Like you can have a character walking or running. In this case, she's running like, and I'm controlling her with my mouse. The moment I stop, I can just press Q, and then I can press A and then press Q, then A, Q. That isn't that pretty cool. I love that feature, right? So yeah, I see. Awesome, says GE, and then I think in iClone it's motion direction. Okay, yeah, motion directory. There's something very similar to this. Very cool. Love it. Yes, great. Okay, awesome. I'm glad you guys are as excited. Okay, so we covered this. That was very simple. Now let's cover facial because right now we have done body. All the movement that we have done is body, but not the face. So how do I know if it's affecting the face or the body? Well, there's this button right here that shows the active portion, and it shows this. It's like a character. Whenever a clip shows in here, it means it's animating the body, and if it's showing up here is the face. So let me press preview and then press, for example, right there is the Q, right? And then I press W and then E and then R and then A, right? All the time I'm animating only the body, not the face. How do I animate the face? Well, simple. All I have to do is add animation clips of the face right here, which everything that you like, all these clips are pre-made, but you can make your own. All right. So I'm gonna close this, and then into the animation, like I have animation, I close this one that is collapse it. Can any of you see this one? Face. Now because I type run, I need to remove that search. That gives me access to the faces. Now I'm scrolling down because, for example, all of these are paid. I'm gonna scroll down because all of you have access to these. If not, if this is your first time, you probably need to go to pack, go to free resources, and make sure you right click and then install content. In my case, it's asking me to uninstall, but I recommend you install all of them. Now, let me go back to animation. Oh, no, not pack. I want to go to item, then face, and I'm just gonna add these top three. Let's add that one, and then how about a smile? But I want this. Anyone can see how easy it is to rearrange clips in here. I think it's pretty cool that you click and drag and then you put it whenever you want. And I want these to be S, D, F. I'm just double clicking. Okay. So by the way, you can also click and drag and select a couple of them at the same time and organize them. All right. Now, pay attention to the active portion. I press preview, space, and then I can do this one, which by the way, I probably need to zoom in here a little bit so we can see the face. Okay, I'm gonna press space, and then look, it's animating that, but I can also press D and it's doing that. Do you see? It's still doing the face of the D. Now it stopped. And then the F is this, oh, and she can be doing the kick and keep that face animation until it ends. I know it ends because it disappears from the face. Okay, so that is pretty cool. Very nice. Okay, now let's go to the last part of today. We still have 15 minutes to know how to set up moving props. For context, I'm going to save this as, okay, I just saved it. For context, I'm going to show you a project. Let me open Puppet Stage. This is from template, item, all, and then project, and then Puppet Stage. All of you have access to this one, but I want to use this one as an example. I'm gonna click and drag, and while it loads, guys, I need to go to a restroom. I drink a lot of water. So I'll be back. Give me 2 minutes quickly. I don't know if Kai could jump in a little bit, or I don't know. It's not necessary, but I need to go to a restroom really quick. Right, either two. All right, Robert, go to the restroom. I was holding it, and then no, I'm gonna explode.
Yep,
Okay,
I'm here.
all
Give me two
righty. I'll
seconds.
be back. I'm going to a restroom.
No worries. Sorry, guys. I actually just had to run to the door. Someone came to my house here, so I had a delivery. So I was just coming back. So I'll show my video here. Hopefully, everyone can see me here. A little bit dark, but yeah, okay. So Mark's Mark's going for a bathroom break. It looks like so. Just want to remind everyone as well that we are doing a Q&A at the end of today's webinar. So if you have any questions, put them in the Q&A. Was it Canada Post test, Mark? No, I am Canadian. I'm originally from Vancouver, but I'm in Japan right now. So just on a little sort of holiday here. But yeah, want to remind everyone here that yeah, we have the Q&A. So I already see some questions in the Q&A. So if you guys have any more questions, feel free to put those in the Q&A. I won't be we won't be answering questions in the chat. So yeah, Japan. Wow, I just got here a little while ago, so I'm still a little bit jet lagged, but yeah, lovely to have everyone here. Hopefully, you're having some fun with the motion pilot stuff that Mark is showing here, the puppet stage. Really cool stuff. Yeah, right now in Japan it is 10:45 a.m. So that would
Oh,
be 8 p.m. No, sorry, 6 p.m. 6:45 p.m. 5:45 p.m. actually in Vancouver, where I'm originally from. So I'm in tomorrow. I'm in the future. It looks like Mark is back there. How's it going, Mark?
yes. I
Ready
lose
to
a little bit of weight there. I lost a little bit of water. So now this is what I mean by moving props. All of you can set up very advanced characters like this. Like don't think like, oh my god, that's impossible. No, I any of you, if you sit down and learn Cartoon Animator well, you can create characters like this. Not only that, you can, if the character is really good and people like it, you can also put it on the marketplace, so it's right there and you just receive passive income from work. You put a lot of work in and then you get passive income. That's how Gary Pye makes a living. He has a lot of characters in the marketplace, right? So anyhow, this is how you do this. Let me just preview. I'm gonna press space and look at what happens when I press L. Oh, she does some action. But the cool thing is that there's a prop being animated, like the little heart. Wow, that's pretty cool. And I can also press K. And look at that. The background change. What the heck is going on in there? That is so cool. And then there's, I believe, the S. Yes, the S brings this thing like, ah. So any of you can do, if you know how to draw, you can create your own assets and animate them, right? I want to check here really quick, like from 1 to 10, type how good are your drawing skills. 0 is you definitely cannot draw. 10 is you are pretty good. Ooh, Jason, and then David. We have a 3, 2, 0, 7 minus 10 by Joel. Okay, 0, Nate. Okay, a couple of you know how to draw. That's good. And a couple of you don't know how to draw. Robert, 5.5, a 9 by Pavel. Jenny, 4 to 5. Awesome. Thank you so much for sharing your numbers, guys. So, some of you know how, for those of you who know how to draw, you can draw your own props and then animate them and have them be activated like this, just like, for example, this little heart, right? Now, if you don't know how to draw, that is totally okay. That's why Cartoon Animator is very, very powerful, especially for people who don't know how to draw. Okay, so how do we do that? There's a couple of things happening right now at the same time, and I want to dissect each one so you understand what's happening and you can do it yourself. in the top, I'm gonna press where it says aux. Whoa, look at that. There's a lot. Not only do I have that character selected, but I also have a lot of props. So wait a second. Where are all those props? Well, I'm gonna tell you. Let me first go to scene. Aha! I have a character right here, and you can see that when it's like shaded, that means it's selected. So not only do I have that selected, I also have all of it selected, right? Everything is selected in there. Why? Because once I have everything selected and I press, let me, for example, show you this one, the blown love, right? Blown love is activated by when I press L, that one, right? So I'm going to close the auxiliary objects and close the puppet stage. And then I want to click on anything. Okay, blown love. Where is it? I don't see it. Well, you don't see it because first you animate the thing and then you save the animation as a clip and then you set up a puppet stage. I can tell you then, like after you have it here, actually for this one, we're gonna need another color. Like after you set all your animation in there, you just go here and you hide it right in that little eye. So if I want, I can click here. Aha! Now I'm showing it, right? And now I'm going to hide it again. Press that little eye and then open the puppet settings. And you can see that this one, whoa, can you see the all the time? Remember what this pin means? That means is the default. So whenever it finishes doing an animation, it will go back to what? To hiding. And then if I press L, it will do some kind of motion. So how do we do that? That's exactly what I'm going to show you with a little demonstration here. And for that, all of you can follow along. You don't have to have any elements that like anything from the marketplace. All the characters that I'm using are come from Cartoon Animator, right? So I'm gonna use that one. And if I go to prop, let me just click on props. I'm going to type here ball. And I'm gonna click and drag. And let's say that I want the ball to show up whenever she does something specific, right? So for now, I need to set up puppet stage for two characters. I mean, two elements. One, I need puppet stage for her, and then another puppet stage for the ball. And I want to make sure that whenever I press the same button, both of them are triggered. Let me explain a little bit further. For example, I have her, and I'm going to go to animation. And let's say that her default animation, well, remember, first, when you click in there, hey, there's nothing. Hey, the ball is not found. Oh, it's because I have ball in there. So I'm going to remove that. And then open 2D motion, human, and then female. And I'm going to use the dancing one. Where's the dance? Let's use this one. Okay, so first I open the puppet stage with her selected and then click and drag the dance loop, and that will be the default. So whenever I press preview, she's gonna be dancing. Now, the next thing she's gonna do, let's say is, I don't know, like, let's pretend is the anger, right? I'm gonna click and drag and bring it there. And this one is W. Okay, this is Q and this is W. Alrighty. So now I'm gonna preview and then she's dancing, but then someone spills. Oh, wait a second. I need to loop it. Click, just one click. There you go. I press space. Very good. And then if I press W, she like, now she's angry. And then after she's angry, she's gonna keep dancing. Perfect. Now, I want to, this is set up. Now I want to select the ball and the ball has nothing set up. The first thing I want to do is click on the plus and then click the little eye. But this eye right now is not like the other one. The other one was only closed. Look at what that means. I press space. If I press Q, it hides. If I press Q, it shows. So it's basically toggling. I don't want that. Instead, I want it to always be hidden. How do I do that? I double click, and then instead of toggle, I'm going to choose always hide. Very good. That's the one that we had. And then I'm going to set it as default. And then I'm going to, actually, this doesn't require loop. I press space, boom, it disappears. Awesome. Now, I want to do an animation that is not here. I mean, there's a couple of motion clips that I could add, but instead, I want to show you how you can create clips. I remember some of you said to me on the chat, like, yes, I want to learn how to animate something and then save it as a clip. Well, whenever you save your own clips, you save them as part of custom, not as template, but as custom. Actually, this is one that I used when I was doing some testing. So I'm gonna remove it. Let me delete. Yes, delete that clip. And I'm gonna animate or have the ball in there. Like again. So how do we do that? Well, first, whatever clip I use has to be animated. Let me show you for those of you who don't know how to animate. I just open the timeline, go, for example, to frame 60, and then I move the ball, and now look at that. There's an animation. It moves from one point to another. But this is not changing the motion. That's a problem. It's changing the transform. So let me go to the beginning, right click, and then remove object animation. Now, instead, I want to do a motion clip that I can use on the puppet stage. How do I do that? Well, I press letter K. Okay. Oh, this is the same as pressing this button right here, prop key editor. And this is the transformation that I want to be transforming. So I go, let's say that I go like 5 frames, and then it's gonna go small, and then more frames, and then it's gonna go big. Actually, I'm just gonna copy this one. Copy, and then paste. And then I'm just gonna be copying and pasting these again. And then I select all of those. There you go. So now I have that. That could be the anger. Remember, there was an animation of the anger? That could be the anger. So we have that. Very cool. Now, how do I save it? First, I need to select only this area in the timeline. And I do that by having the cursor in here and then pressing the N button right there. I'm going to press there. And that, if look at that, there's this little triangle in the timeline. Later, we're gonna click and drag that triangle to the end. So we have the size of the timeline or this animation to be the same as it was. But for now, leave it there. And now with the ball selected, I'm gonna go to here where it's I'm on custom. I'm gonna press animation, open it, select, where is it? Prop. And then I'm gonna click save. Then I'm gonna call this ball anger. Then I'm gonna press OK. There it is. Now there's no thumbnail in there. I don't like that. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to isolate the ball by clicking here in isolate selection. Then I'm gonna zoom in and set this at the center of the screen. Remember, I press Alt and then both clicks. In here it says I'm pressing left, but I'm actually pressing both clicks. Like that. And then right click, capture thumbnail. There you go. Now I know it's this ball. Now I'm gonna zoom out, click again in here to not isolate anymore. And I'm gonna put the, oops, I'm gonna first save this. I'm going to look, if I, let me go to the beginning and then right click, remove object animation. And now that I saved that clip, I can take this endpoint and drag it all the way to the end. So the animation has the predefined duration. And now look, if I play, nothing happens. But what happens if I click and drag this motion clip? Ooh, now it animates. And then I can click and drag and it animates again, right? But I don't want that. Let me just go back to the beginning, right click, right click, remove object animation. And I want that to be on the puppet stage. Look at this. This is where it gets very interesting. If I press preview and I press space, dude, did you see? It disappears, and then I press W, it shows for a little bit, and then it disables. That's pretty cool, right? That is really cool. Okay, so if what happens, let's do a little experiment. Let me go to the beginning. What happens if I have this ball selected and I hide it? Well, will it show when I press W? The answer is yes. Look, there you go. And then it stops. It does that for a little bit and then it stops. Now, if I have both of them selected, like I need to go to the scene, select Ariel, select the ball, and then click on the puppet stage. You can see that if I press on aux, ooh, I have the ball now. But look at this. If I press W, it should animate the ball too, but there's gonna be an error in here, which this is very sneaky. I want everybody to pay attention. I press space, W. Wait a second. Why is the ball not doing anything? Here's why. Because of one setting right here. I need to click on the flock settings and then, this is the one messing everything. You need to press no, like don't mimic the leader. And now everything works. I press space and then I press W. Aha. Now there's a problem with this. It's floating in the air. What can I do? Well, this is something really cool. I go to the beginning. I select only the ball. I want to show it. And I'm going to resize it a little bit and then put it on her forehead like this. Was something around there. And now I'm going to press link and then link to the face. So look at this. And also remember, let's hide it. I press here and then live, press space. Nice, very good. But now I need to select Ariel and then control, click on the ball, and then puppet stage, and we're done. Look at that. She's dancing and then W. Right? That is pretty cool. All right. So that's it. Whew. I passed for 2 minutes. Those were the 2 minutes I went to the bathroom. But we're done. You're making me laugh, says Pauline. All righty. That makes me happy, Pauline.
Hey everyone,
Right.
back again. I guess. Thanks so much for that, Mark. That's awesome. I think the puppet stage tool was a really awesome tool, and you showed it, you demoed it really well. So many cool things you can do with that, right?
Yes. And now we're gonna go to the Q&A, and guys, we're gonna do the giveaway thing, and the two things we're gonna give away four things. It's gonna be cartoon animator, and then what is it, a profile for 2D motion capture, and then two of my courses, right? The two courses that I'm gonna be giving away are uh, the ones that most people ask for, which are the rigging courses, right? Rigging, and then you know what? It's Christmas. How about we do another one where I give the complete training on Cartoon Animator? Anyway, I see a couple of you guys are totally new. So first, let me share my screen. I'm gonna share my screen and sharing sound. Perfect. So first is this one, the rigging mastery in Cartoon Animator. This one explains everything there is to know about rigging. Like you go through 8 different levels. Let me just go where I start talking about the levels. This one. So there's 8 levels of training from very basic to very advanced. And you can check, I can drop the page in there. This is what I'm going to be. Yes, rigging mastery. How do I sign up? I'm gonna let you know, let you guys know. But first, I'm gonna create the first list of people who don't have Cartoon Animator. Either you don't have Cartoon Animator, or if you have it, you know someone you want to give Cartoon Animator to. Alrighty? So please, I'm going to the way you are guys are going to enroll is in the chat. All right. Right now, nobody type anything. I'm going to do enroll for Cartoon Animator software. Only people who don't have it. Okay, so right now, please, if you don't have it, type me in the chat like this. Me. Me. Okay, a couple of you. Awesome. All right. Oh my God, a lot of you. Okay. And then we're just gonna wait. Then you don't have to type your name twice. Once is okay. Okay, so this, and I think that's enough. Very good. Thank you so much, guys. That would be for the first enrollment. Now, for the next one, let me just type this really quick. And then I'm going to do another one, which is this one. Okay, this is a new enrollment. I'm putting these lines. Copy, paste, paste, paste. This is general enrollment. Now, of course, if one of you gets ultra lucky and gets picked twice, then we will only give it once. Okay, yes, general enrollment, this is for the courses and for the profile, etc. So type your name in there, just type me. I mean, not your name, just type me. Very good. All right, a lot of people. And remember, only type it once, please. If you put it way too much, I'm gonna have you as spam. All right, and disqualify you. I don't want to disqualify anyone, please. Alrighty, so we have quite a lot in here. Let me just, I'm saving this. And that'll be it. I'm gonna stop it at Keith. All right, so while I prepare everything, I'm gonna prepare a couple of lists. Travels with I characters. Okay, so for now, how about we jump to you, Kai, for to do a couple of Q. Sorry, you just disabled the camera.
I just
For
disabled my video. I was like,
so
yeah.
like
Sorry, go ahead.
maybe one or two, three questions, and then once I'm ready, I'll let you know. And after you finish answering a question, we'll jump into the
Sounds like a
giveaway.
plan.
That's good.
All right, so
Alrighty.
Mark's going to get all the giveaway stuff prepared. So I'm going to just go through a couple of questions here in our Q&A. We have a bunch of questions already, so thanks everyone for participating. We get the first question is from anonymous attendee, very mysterious. When creating a PSD character and importing into Cartoon Animator 5, how does one overcome challenges with the character not showing up at all in the software or only a few parts showing up? Is there an up-to-date template for the PSD G3 characters that can be used? I tried to follow the template and samples in the wiki, but the character fails to import all the way. Interesting. I'm not. That may seem like a bug. I'm not sure, but what I would do is I would check that all your versions are updated. I know you can use any PSD editor. You don't have to use Photoshop. You can use other PSD editors as well. If your parts aren't showing up, I would probably recommend checking the names. I know that's happened to me in the past, and it's probably because in the past it's because I named the parts wrong. So you have to pay very close attention to the naming conventions of your PSD or your characters. Make sure the names are all the same as the template character. That's really the only thing I can think of is like some things like magically not showing up when you import it into Cartoon Animator or something like that. That would be my first troubleshooting advice. The next one would obviously be to make sure all your versions are updated. Make sure that your Cartoon Animator is updated to the latest version. There are some, bugs that have been fixed or that have presented themselves and been fixed in subsequent versions. So, yeah, I would have to troubleshoot that probably in person or over email or something to give you a better answer than that. But that would be my first two troubleshooting steps that I would take. Sort of kind of a non-answer there, but it's hard to say without being actually present or seeing the project file or anything like that. So we'll go to one more question here. Anonymous attendee again. How are layers supposed to be named and set up for custom PSD? So probably the same person. Um, Asking about the layer naming setup for PSD G3 characters. So yeah, this is what I kind of just went through. The naming convention is very important because in those G3 characters, If the naming is incorrect, then you're not going to have some stuff that's presented. So yeah, just be very cognizant of the naming conventions that are in the template character. I think that may be your problem, and if it isn't, I apologize, but those are my first two troubleshooting steps. So we'll go through one more here. Esther Clark, can we create our own animation tab? Unfortunately, we can't create your own animation tab in Cartoon Animator. The interface is non-customizable at this point, so unfortunately, no. Hate to give you hate to give you a negative answer there, but thanks for the question, Esther. But we cannot create our own animation tab, unfortunately. So um, I think we're still going there. On, are you ready, Mark? Or
I'm ready
okay, we'll go to the
to do
giveaway then.
the first one. I'm just doing the one final copy paste, and I'm done. Let me
We got
see.
a lot of people, eh? Holy smokes.
Yeah,
109 people right
109. All righty, guys. Are you guys having fun? By the way,
now.
just quick question. Yes. Yeah.
Seems like
Yes.
people are having fun.
Apparently, yes, absolutely. All
Everyone's
righty.
ready for the giveaway.
Hooray. Okay, so this is my favorite part. The first one that we're gonna do is the one giveaway for Cartoon Animator. Like, how does this proceed, Kai? Like the Revolution team just reaches out to them?
Yeah, well, the Reillusion team will email you guys. Whoever wins the cartoon animator, Reillusion team will email you later and give you the license information
Ah,
you need.
okay. Woo, that's much smoother than the way we do it. The way we do it for my courses is gonna be you guys need to send an email to support, right? Uh, Preferably, I'm sending to the my team who handles support. I send them, look, this is the screenshot of the person who won. Okay, so this let me remove my name from there, Mark Diaz. I never win anything. Oh, that's because I removed myself. So here's the thing. Alrighty, this is for Cartoon Animator, and we're gonna press here. And the first one to win is woo! Look at that, Colin. If I'm not mistaken, Colin, you didn't know how to use it, and at the same time, you didn't have Cartoon Animator, did you? Let's see. Congrats, Eric! Eric! Alrighty. Okay, winners. This is for. Okay, I just took this. Now I'm gonna remove you, and that was only for this one. Now, in the other one, you could have also entered your name. That's for the general one. This list is much bigger. Oh, look at that. So this next one is for the profile to use motion capture. Alrighty? So this is also a giveaway from Revolution. Okay, so let's see who gets it. Ooh, Dewey. Woo!
Dwi Handoyo Putro.
Handoyo Putro. Alrighty. So how do you pronounce your name, by the way? I'm very curious. Okay, so this is the winner for Revolution.
Colin just said what in the chat, so I mentioned to Colin you just won the cartoon animator in case you left for a while
Oh
there.
yeah,
Colin
Colin. Yeah,
Hoof.
Colin, you were the winner. I got you here. Like, look, I took a screenshot.
All right, now he got it now. Yeah, I'm in shock. Why we?
Yeah, you won, man. That's pretty cool. Congratulations. Okay, so now we're going to do the giveaway. I'm actually going to do 3 giveaways. The first one is Rigging Mastery. This is the most expensive program we have. Is like $500 because it's very comprehensive. We have a lot of worksheets, cheat sheets, like little troubleshooting sheets. We have so much into this, right? So for this one, the winner is gonna be, oops, I was doing a test. Remove this one. And let's see. The winner, this is for Gingrich, young man. Okay. I don't know how. Hopefully, I'm pronouncing your name correctly. And this is congratulations. Okay, this is what you need to do, Gingrich. You need to send this is the most expensive price. Send an email at support at 2danimation101.com, or you can send a message to the panelists with your email, and then I can reach you. All right. So do we whichever you want, like send an email right now with a screenshot of this, or just send me like send a message to the panelists in the chat here, and I'll let my team know. Alrighty. Okay. Very good. Next. No way. Yeah, I've never won anything. Well, today is your lucky day, John Rich. So yeah, now you won something. Look at that. You just won $500 in a course. Alrighty. Now let's do the next one. The next one is 3 speed rigging techniques that I cover in detail to get your characters done really, really quickly. It is the swapping technique, the smart design, and pre-made characters. Right? This is an award-winning animator. He did look. He said, "I never rig anything from scratch because I don't know how." So he used one of our techniques. He was using pre-made characters. Okay, so this one is $300 if you buy it alone, or you can buy it in payments, right? For those of you looking for information, you can send us an email at support at 2danimation101. Just looking to see if John Rich. Okay, John Rich, let me know your email or email to support at 2danimation101. All right. So the winner for the speed rigging course is. Let's see. Let's see. Typing. Petula Miller. Woo! Congratulations, Petula.
And okay, I can see. Okay, I couldn't see the screen before. Now I can see it.
Perfect. Awesome,
Yeah.
awesome. Hopefully not. So very good. Thank you very much. I start to like Christmas. That's good. That's good. I will send email to address provided again. Awesome, Genrich. We will be waiting for your email then. Okay, Petula, the same. You can either give me your email address by sending an email message, not to everybody, but to the panelists only, hosts and panelists, and I can get you hooked up with the course, or you send an email. Let me type the support here. Support right here. Support at 2D Animation 101 saying that you won. By the way, I already told my team. They already know. I mean, they are in India, so right now he gets up a little bit later than this. So okay, in India, I believe it's like 6:30 or 7:30 a.m. Alrighty. So now the last one. The last one is going to be this training that is a bundle of all the courses. It's like a bunch of courses, right? It's all the basic training that you need for cartoon animator, right? There's a lot of modules in here. So that one will go to, let's go. Hola, saludos, Arby. Arby Núñez Rojas. Almost Lapka. Lucas Plata. By the way, Lucas, I saw you typing ha ha ha. That's Spanish for ha ha
Spanish for
ha.
ha ha ha.
Yeah. Okay, winner for CTA 5-6 course bundle. You basically got 6 courses in there. Lucas Plata. Awesome. So again, Lucas, you can send an email to I'm from Poland, and here's the 3. Whoa, Adrian, that's insane. That's cool that you guys are showing up. Okay, awesome.
Yeah, 3
Congratulations
o'clock in
to
the
all the
morning. Holy
winners.
smokes!
Yeah. Okay, so please Petula and Lucas, please send them an email to support at 2danimation101.com. Awesome. Thank you so much for saving your email right here, Petula. This is Petula's email. so you can set up.
And congratulations to all the people from Poland and
Alrighty.
Europe that are up at like 3 o'clock in the morning watching this.
Yeah. Hopefully you learned a lot. I did my best. Okay. Now we can continue with the Q&A, and I'm gonna blow my nose.
All right, we're good for Q&A now? All right. Do Daiga. What a cool name, Do Daiga. Will this work with 3D motions? When duplicate some motions, how do you stop the character from not going back to its original position? So two questions here. Will this work with 3D motions? So you can't take the 2D motions and import them into 3D. It just doesn't work that way. But you can import 3D motions from our 3D software into Cartoon Animator using something called Motion Link. So basically, you can take any 3D character you have animated in our 3D software. You can actually take that into Cartoon Animator and apply that to your 2D character, and it'll stretch and scale your character's body parts to simulate a 3D sort of motion. It's really cool. We should probably have a tutorial or a webinar on that someday. iClone to Cartoon Animator, the whole pipeline there. We haven't really visited that in a long time, but it's there's websites. If you go to our website, it'll show you how to do that there. That's a great question, Do Daiga. And the next one is, when duplicating motions, how do you stop the character from not going back to its original position? That's a bit more of a complicated technical question when it comes to animation. Of course, you can loop motions. A lot of motions are loopable, like running motions, for example. You want to have a running motion that's loopable. Um, Not going back to its original position. That's I mean, you just uh, change the original position, I guess, or change the end position to be different from the original position. That's all I can really tell you there. The question's a little bit broad, but hopefully that answered. If you need more clarification, Do, then please feel free to ask another question in the Q&A. But for now, I'll just go on to the next one because I'm not really sure the specifics on that. The next question is from Esther. Can we control more than one character? Mark, can we control more than one character? Oh, can't hear you there, buddy.
Ah, yeah, it's because I
Yeah,
was I was muted to the. I
yeah,
when I played the trumpet. So
yeah.
yes, you can, and you can check that out. Actually, I learned how to do it from Kai. Kai here. Am I in your on your end? Am I pointing to you?
You're on my left
Ah,
on the Zoom screen, so I'm probably on your right. I don't know.
you're on
It's
my left.
all I'm
Anyhow,
somewhere.
somewhere. So in yes, you can. I can show really quick. Like I have that character, right? And then let's say, just to make this simple, I'm gonna press Control and then click and drag so I can duplicate, and then click and drag so I can duplicate, and then click and drag so I can duplicate. And now, if I have all these characters, let me select the original one. This is the original one. Let me put her on this side. And if I have her, actually, you know what? I'm gonna bring her fourth. So she's gonna be in front of all of them, right? If I select her and then control click all the other ones and then go to the puppet stage, just like the props, if I press with on aux, you can see that all of them have this. Right now, look at this. If I press preview and then space and then I press W, all of them are moving at the same time. Now, what if I go to flock settings and I do a little bit of delay? Let's put uniform, and the delay is like 7 frames. Look, now I press space, and now do you see? That looks a little bit more organic. And also that can work also with the motion pilot. I just activated it, and I'm going to disable the face cursor, press preview space, and then look, now all of them are moving. So that is pretty cool. Isn't that insane? So the answer is yes. Just make sure that every single one of them have their own puppet stage ready, and also the flock settings. Pay attention to this. All right.
Looks like a K-pop group or something.
Again?
Yeah, good example. Thanks for that,
That's
Mark.
it.
Hope that helped a little, everyone here. Oh, Jindrich Juman again, or
Ginrich, the
Jindrich Juman.
winner!
Could be the soft
First
Spanish
time
J. I'm
winner.
not sure. Will everyone get access to the webinar recording after the end, or do we need to ask for it personally? Yeah, so he's experiencing some lag, I guess, unfortunately.
Ah, yes.
But Jindrich, yes, we are sending out the recording to everyone after the webinar. So it'll be on our YouTube as well. So
Which, by the way, Ginrich, you got the lag, but then you got the good fortune of winning. So that's pretty cool. Life was like,
yeah,
I'm gonna make you suffer a little bit, but here you go. Now you get a reward.
he didn't realize he won until like 30 seconds later because he won. So, anyways, okay. Next question is from Joel. Joel McKay. Does the facial mocap work with the iPhone 3D camera? Yes, it does. So the webcam tools have proven a mixed result. Okay, so Joel was using the webcam previously, getting mixed results for dialogue keys. I assume that's the Visine keyframes for the lip syncing. Um, so yeah, the facial mocap. Honestly, with Cartoon Animator, the facial mocap is because I normally work. I'm normally in the 3D realm. I work with Icon and Unreal and Blender and stuff like that. So for that, you need a really detailed facial motion capture, very detailed lip syncing. With Cartoon Animator, generally you're going to have more dynamic, like cartoon-like, right? It's not realism. It's cartoons. So you're not going to really have to worry too much about super accurate like lip movements because it'll be like bah, boo, bah, boo, hey ha ho ha ha like that. But yeah, to answer your question, sorry I got off track there, Joel. I think that iPhone and the webcam work fairly similar, and it also depends a lot on your character too, like your character's capabilities. How many sprites do you have for your character's mouth? Will give you more detailed lip syncing. Obviously, I always I probably say this in every webinar, but all of our 3D stuff, it eventually we integrate that stuff into our 2D program, Cartoon Animator as well. So you can look forward to definitely more accurate lip syncing, but yeah, in terms of um, iPhone versus webcam, I think they're fairly similar in terms of in Cartoon Animator. If you're going to the 3D realm, the iPhone has what's the camera that can gauge distance, so it's a little
Whoa.
bit yeah, it's a little bit more accurate when it comes to things like plosives. Like if my
Oh.
mouth goes like this in iPhone, it can detect that better than webcam would, because webcam it just looks like
Whoa.
my mouth is moving, but iPhone can detect the distance of the facial motion capture. So it's a little bit more accurate when it comes to distance to the camera.
Wow.
Yeah, that doesn't really factor into Cartoon Animator that much though, because it's a 2D 2D environment. So yeah. Oh, well, the next question, anyways, from anonymous attendee, another anonymous attendee. Can we import a normal 3D FBX with multiple animations onto a 2D plane in CTA? Yes, you can. I mean, technically you can, but you import it into iClone, and then iClone converts it for use with Cartoon Animator. Um, that's a very quick and simple answer. We got a lot of questions here, so I'm going to go through them a little bit faster. Um, Stan asks, what we've learned today, is it also in Cartoon Animator 4? No, unfortunately, the motion or the puppet stage that Mark demoed today is only available in Cartoon Animator 5, not on version 4. So you'll need to upgrade. And if you do want to upgrade, there is a special upgrade price. So if you log into your account, for anyone who's looking to upgrade right now, if you log into your account on the Reallusion site, log into your account, it'll give you a special upgrade price. So you won't have to pay like the regular people. You get a special VIP special upgrade price. Yeah. Okay. Marcel asks, what animated pack did you use? I think that was for you, Mark. What animated pack did you use?
I used the one called Mission Moves. I used two. You're talking about the anime. You can let me know on the chat,
Right.
Marcel. I'm active in the chat. If you're referring to the mission move, that one is pretty cool. Or the anime character. Those are two different ones. Yes, thank
Yeah,
you. Like Revolution already
the team
posted
put
it
it in
there.
the chat
All
there. Yep.
right, you guys are ninja. Like,
Good job, team. Yeah, they're really on the ball here.
righty.
All right. Yeah. So the webinar team put the link
Animated
in the
pack. So
chat.
yeah.
Yep. Yep. All right. Next question from Paul. Hey, Paul from Uganda. Oh man, it's almost 3 o'clock in the morning in
Oh,
Uganda, I guess, as well.
whoa.
My question is in regards to the contest. I'm thinking about building a game. What level of percentage of Cartoon Animator 5 software should it use? So it's not a very talked about topic, but Paul, thanks Paul for the question. First of all, a great question. Using Cartoon Animator 5 with game production, it's very common with. I know a lot of people who use Unity. Unreal. The game engine is generally for the 3D environment for the most part. Unity tends to be more 2D in my experience. So if you want to export, for example, like running motions for your character running across the stage like Mario or something like that, you can export image sequences, what are called image sequences. So like 30 frames of a character running. That'll be like a loop of your character running. You can import that into Unity and have your running character. You can import the jump. You can import whatever. Uh, Percentage of what you want to use in Cartoon Animator 5, I don't know about percentages, but you can definitely use Cartoon Animator 5 to create your 2D game. Highly recommend it, to be honest. It's actually really easy to do. But like the last time we did a tutorial on that was like 2 or 3 years ago, I think, when I took a character into Unity. So we should probably, if you guys want to learn more about that workflow, happy to make another tutorial on it. Let us know in the feedback form, and we'll get more on that. I think we should, to be honest. It's a great workflow. But thanks for the question, and thanks for staying up in Uganda. Question from Fairs Rivers. I recognize that name. CTA has come a long way to this date and age. I started out with Machinima in the movies game. Yep. Yeah, that's when I started Relusion. You tend to get a little lazy because of prefab motions. Uh, okay. So just a comment. Just this comment's
Okay.
basically saying she's been following us for a long time. Thank you so much, Ferris. I really appreciate it, and good to see you here again. Thanks for joining us. We'll go to the next question, anyways, from Jindrik. Um, Apart from the Realusion official tutorials, is there any tutorial on how to prepare and import my own character from Adobe Illustrator to Cartoon Animator 5? Yes. Yes, there are. There are tutorials in our learning center. Maybe our Realusion team can just post a link in the chat, if possible, for our learning center. All of the Relusion tutorials are in our learning center. If you go to the Relusion page, you just go to like learn. It's on the top right. You go to learn, and you'll see official tutorials all there. They're all categorized. They're all there it is right there. Look at those guys, man. Look at how fast they
Wow, that
are.
is so fast.
Holy
Yeah.
smokes, they're so good.
All
Um,
right.
all right, so if you guys want all of our Relusion tutorials categorized for Cartoon Animator, there you go. The link is in the chat. Thank you, Relusion team. They're super fast. Holy cow! All right, next question from Do Daga again. Can you link to a bone where the bone of the character can control that of an asset? The wording is a little bit
Bone to
strange.
bone, where the bone of a character can control that of an asset. I think I imagine linking like an asset to the character to a bone. If
I think
that's
linking to a specific bone of the character, linking like an
then
accessory
yes,
or something. Yeah.
I can illustrate really quick. I'm gonna share my screen. And just to remove the power required in my computer, I'm just gonna remove a couple of them. Let's bring, no, that's the animation. Let's bring one of the, I'm gonna go to all and just type ball. Ball. Hey, I want the template. All. And then ball, let me search for ball. And then let's say that I want to link this specifically to her hand. I will have it floating here and then link. And then look, when I hover the mouse on her, I can select either the sprite or the bone. So I'm gonna click on the bone of the hand when it gets green. So now if I have this bone and I rotate it, the ball rotates with it, right? So yeah, that's how you do it.
I
Hopefully
think
that.
yeah, I think that's pretty much. I hope that's what they were asking. Doe, coolest name ever. It's like Homer Simpson. Doe.
No.
Uh, anyways, next question from Colin here. Colin, the winner of today's cartoon animator.
Yeah.
What's the most iconic example of cartoon animator being used in media? That's a good question. Our marketing team probably has a better answer than I do. I don't do much in terms of the marketing stuff, but I know that there's the example that comes to mind is there's some guy in
I actually I can show one of my
go for it. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
skits.
Sure,
Like
yeah.
he's like shout out again to Mr. Kipley. Like I actually did a collaboration with him because he was doing way too good. Like Mr. Kipley, he does all his animations in Cartoon Animator, and I just want you to check. Like, look at some of his views. Let me go to popular. That's insane. 12 million views, 12 million views, 8
Holy
million
smokes, 12
views.
million.
So he has a couple of videos that are bangers. This was 3 months ago, 1.6 million views. That is insane. So he's doing really well. And I recommend if you can check some of his videos. It's for kids, but it's like it took him so much time. Like a lot of people, for kids it's very easy. No, it's not. He struggled for years trying to get those millions of views and he couldn't. Right? Alrighty, so yeah.
Awesome.
Hope it
No, that's a
helps.
great example. 12 million views. You can't really beat that. That's like I don't know, Taylor Swift kind of numbers or something. uh, anyways, I was gonna say there's also another user who does like soccer videos, basically does parody soccer videos in Europe, and he has like millions of views as well. I can't place the name right now, but yeah, if you I'm sure if you like Google cartoon animator soccer, it'll pop up. Anyways, we'll go to the next couple of questions here from Colin. Oh, that's the same question. I didn't. Next one's from Don. Don Evelyn. Nice to see you again. Don's a regular cartoon animator user. I have the skateboard motions for Icon and wanted to implement the motions into Cartoon Animator 5. It didn't show up in the 3D motions list in CTA 5. Very good question, Don. This is actually like something actually new to me as well, since we just started something in iClone, which are linked. They're called smart accessories. So when you apply a motion in iClone to a character, it'll automatically equip that character with the specified accessory with that accessory. So for example, if I have a motion that needs there's like a gun shooting motion, if I apply that motion to my character in iClone, it'll automatically add that accessory, equip that
Oh.
accessory to my character. Yeah, in iClone. So this is something really cool called smart accessories, and they're always placed in the right position, the correct position, regardless of your character. Any character, they always in the right position. Amazing feature. I think I love it. It saves so much time. But unfortunately, Don, that doesn't translate over to Cartoon Animator 5. So Don's asking a specific question, like if I apply this motion, the skateboard motion to my character in iClone, if I transfer it over to Cartoon Animator 5, um, yeah, it won't add the skateboard. You have to manually add that skateboard. So in iClone, so just to reiterate, in iClone, if I apply that motion to my character, the skateboarding motion, it'll automatically add the skateboard accessory to my character. So you'll see the character on the skateboard, which is really cool. But we don't have it yet in Cartoon Animator 5. So great question, Don. Thanks for that. Really cool feature, by the way, in iClone. You guys are interested. But okay, we'll go on to the next question, anyways, from David. And any sign of a 360 body on the horizon? Oh man, we get that question every webinar almost, right? The 360
Yeah.
characters.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in the works. It's in the works. We are working as uh, we have a factory full of people and typewriters. Just no, we have a lot of our engineers. We're working on that right now. To get 360 characters, the full 360 character. Right now, it's not yet available, but it is on the horizon,
Yeah,
David.
and I also want to explain to everybody, it's very easy to sit down and just say like, "Hey, you guys do it. Why don't you do it?" It's so hard. I saw a prototype 2 years ago where it was already functional. They were showing me, and I was like, "That's crazy. That's the thing." But then they told me, "Yeah, Mark, but you know what? It makes the rigging like 10 times harder." So it takes so much time and energy to simplify the process so you can just click and drag stuff, right? That's what Cartoon Animator, the team, is trying to do for you guys. So
Yeah,
I think it's got, when it comes out, it will be worth it.
very good point. Yeah, I mean, like the more complex your characters get, I mean, technically, it's going to be very complex to have a 360 character in a 2D environment. So you're going to have to
Yeah.
worry about the rigging.
Yep.
Yeah, we'll go to the next question. Here's from Doe here again. Can you link a bone, a specific bone? I think we answered that question,
Yeah.
hopefully.
I know,
That's
but it says like, let me see, answered.
oh, sorry, I actually
Yeah,
I
like
answered it already.
he was sending clarification. Can you link bone to bone where a specific part of the bone of a specific bone of a character can control the bone of an asset? Okay, then the answer is not that I know of, or is there a workaround?
I think we answered that because that question is from about 30 minutes ago, right?
Yeah.
So hopefully
Oh
we
my
answered
God,
the
time is going
question.
fast.
We're still answering questions from about 30 minutes ago. We're working through them. We're gonna go, guys, for another probably 15 minutes, 18 minutes. We normally go max. We
Yeah.
do an hour of Q&A. So if we don't answer your questions, apologies for that. But you're more than welcome to contact us
Yeah.
later.
And by the way, let me also promote the Facebook group, because if you guys have questions and they don't get answered because we're getting a lot, I recommend you guys go to Facebook and go to here. I'm gonna type group. It is Cartoon Animator Users. Animator Users, if I'm not mistaken. And then is, which one is it? Cartoon Animator. What? Is this the one? Cartoon Animator Users. Well, which one is the
I'm
one
just asking
from?
it.
No, that's
Oh man.
uh,
I haven't used Facebook for years, so
I
I don't really know. But
showcase
probably the one with the most members. No, the 4.2
this one, the
K
marketplace.
members. Oh man, Gary Pye would know.
Gary,
Um,
yeah,
we have the link in the chat. Yeah,
awesome. Thank you so much.
good
Yes,
job again, team.
Cartoon
These guys are like
Animator users. Yes, this is the
that
one.
moves super fast.
Okay, so yeah, this is the one with 5,000 members. Guys, I recommend you, like, hey, I don't use Facebook. Get Facebook just for this group alone. Because in here, when you join, oh, but I'm signed in. Let me join as Mark Diaz. Ah, that's why it was not showing on my end. Like, this one is insane. Like, some of the people that answer the most are, for example, David Arandel. He's like a top cartoon animator user, and he's very attentive. There's David. There's sometimes Gary Pye. That, like, if you have questions and they are not answered, I strongly recommend you come. You remember the guy with the millions of views? It's this guy, Kipley. So he also has questions. So if, like, that's this is a good place to get allies. Like, if he runs into a problem and you can help him, then he could help you get millions of views, like with some tips, right? So it's a really powerful place to be. All right, I recommend you join. Right.
Absolutely. Thanks so much for that, Mark. That's like honestly very, very fantastic advice because David and Gary, David Randall, Gary
Yeah.
Pye, both amazing and they're very attentive. They're like always on. They're like answering questions and yeah, it's a very robust community there. I think that people are always talking and sharing stuff. So if you're interested in animation, cartoon animator, anything in animation, just join that group. It's fantastic. We'll go to the next couple of questions here anyways. We got another 15 minutes max. Anonymous attendee, when I do FFD motions, why my prop didn't follow the FFD? So for example, FFD jump, my character is able to jump, but the prop didn't. So it's FFD is freeform deformation. That's part of the how you morph and how you manipulate the shape of the sprite or whatever. Um, So that would be like probably something to do with flock settings. What do you think, Mark? Um,
Like
the follow.
for the FFDs,
Yeah,
should I?
so I think they have like a character like um.
Yeah,
Wait, so let me more clear. It's FFD. So FFD. I mean, you're
yeah.
changing the shape
It's
of something.
like when you deform the character like with stuff like this, right? Whoa, whoa, whoa. Okay, so when you do FFD, why my prop didn't follow the FFD? For example, FFD jump. Okay. Okay, so in a prop, my character able to jump, but the prop didn't. So your character was jumping with the FFD, but not the prop. Is that the situation, Anonymous?
I think on this one we might need some more clarification.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we
yeah,
need to
so
understand the question first
yeah,
so we can provide a good quality answer. So on the chat, you can let us know, Mr. Anonymous.
Mr. Anonymous. Okay, so Esther asks how to control two characters in the puppet stage, including facial expressions. Is that possible? Facial expressions. People are always
That
asking for more and more.
for this one, you would have to animate the face first, and then set it as a motion clip, and then follow the last part of the tutorial, almost in minute 40, where I was animating the face. Right, so you press one button and it drops a motion clip for the face. Now that is not controlling the face exactly the way you want it. So for that, you will need motion capture, right? And you can only control, if I'm not mistaken, only one character at a time with the motion capture, right? But you
Yeah,
could turn
yeah.
the workaround I would do is do the all the face for one character, save it as a clip, and then add it as a puppet stage, and now you can control all of them with that same clip. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so I was just reading Esther's comment. My little boy is copying mama and asked me the toughest questions too. You have a very inquisitive young man there, Esther. That's a good thing. All right. So I think, yeah, if you want to control more than one, I mean, I can only control my face. I can only control my personal face, right? If I want, if I can copy and paste to another character, but yeah, you can't control multiple characters simultaneously. But you can record one facial performance and easily copy and paste to another character. So a little bit of an extra step, but yeah, you can't have your cake and eat it too, as some would say. Esther, again, how would you make layers in Photoshop for more than two eyes? So, for example, if you have four eyes in Photoshop, oh, that's a good question. Oh man, I've never created a four-eyed character. Um, in terms of the technically in terms of the naming conventions, gosh, can you do that? Four eyes? Have you tried a
It
four-eyed
is
character?
not for eyes, but Gary Pye did a three-eye character, and I have his permission to share. Like, how about Esther? How about you reach out to me? It's because I don't know where I have that file, but you can reach out to me. Okay, so to support, well, not to me directly because I have so many things. Animation101.com. But yes, we can check out. Like, I can send you the character by Gary Pye, and then you can check how he did it. I think he used. Uh, it was not the with a template, the rigging. It was done by free bone character, and then just using a lot of sprites for it.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if you can control three eyes or four eyes with the puppet uh, performance, for example. If they're classified as eyes, or do you need to manually animate them? I'm just
Ooh.
I think you're probably limited to two. I'm
Yeah,
gonna say that to be safe, but you can obviously you can manually animate three or four eyes or five, like
yeah,
seven eyes or whatever, but you want to have a spider or something. But I think in terms of the puppet, if it's classified as cartoon animator as an eye,
yeah. It's
I
only
think you're
two eyes.
limited to two. I think you're limited to two. Yeah. All right. Thanks for the question, Esther. She says my son's also in Roblox and cartoon anime. That's awesome. That's makes me
Whoa,
happy.
Roblox.
Yeah. I'm very familiar with that. GE asks, what email can be used for troubleshooting for Cartoon Animator based on the Q&A? So GE, I think Mark just showed the Facebook group, which honestly, if I was using Cartoon Animator, that'd be my first stop, the Facebook group. It's very active. People are answering your questions in like 30 minutes. Like they're very active there. There's a lot of people that maybe retired. I don't want to say like, but they have a lot of time and they're always on there answering questions. Our customer support is always open, of course, but I think you might get the better answers in the Facebook group, which is
And faster. Like,
faster.
sometimes,
Yeah.
like, if they are active and they are right there and just posted something, you write and then zoom 1 minute, like, and you start chatting there. I've seen conversations with Gary Pye and other people like, oh my god, and then they get into the nitty gritty of stuff.
I just saw Don's comment here about you can do that. Just do a character exactly, just copy the
Yeah,
character like you did, Control Shift or Control Copy, and
just hide everything
hide
except.
everything else except for the eyes. Yeah, very innovative. It's very
Yeah.
innovative. I wouldn't have thought of that. Like just have another character, but just hide everything except for the eyes. That's amazing. Really cool. Thanks, Don. Thanks for that. Mohammed asks, how do I animate a kid's character with only body and hands and feet? Um, this question is a little bit unclear for me. For example, a kid's candy character, he'll
With
have
only
body
body.
only and hands and feet. Oh, so maybe like a candy head, I think.
Ah,
Uh,
okay. Yes, 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 yes.
trying to figure that out.
Yeah, I'm thinking also like the characters used for children animations, like a little lollipop, or maybe like, hey, you need to drink water, and then this thing with eyes and stuff,
Yeah.
right? So yeah, okay. How do I animate kids character with only body? I would say you can get a lot of. There's a package, isn't there? Like I saw a package for teachers where you can take any prop and then boop, it puts eyes and face and then the hands and everything. I don't know if the resolution team could drop the link to that package because that could solve a lot for you.
Yeah, that's a good suggestion, and you can use that as a template for sure.
Yeah, now there it is. The character
Yeah, yeah.
animation prop interactive learning. That
Holy
is so cool.
smokes,
Thank you.
we got some crazy fast people
I'm
on
sharing
the Realision team here
I'm
posting
sharing my
links.
screen, right? I'm thinking like this, right? Like you have only this and then boop, now you have something that you can animate. Yeah, so you can check it here, check the trailer, see if that's what you're looking for.
I think that's perfect. Yeah. And as well, if you look in our webinar archives, so the webinar that we did with Gary Pye it was November, yeah, end of November with Gary Pye. That webinar, he talked a lot about how to construct the characters. So I think that's a good webinar for anyone who's interested in character creation to take a look at, because in that webinar, Gary goes through in much detail how to construct characters for cartoon animators. So and it'll definitely talk about that. So we'll go to the next question. It's from Vicky. We got about 6 minutes left. Vicky. Oh, thanks, Vicky. Vicky's just wishing us a
Ah,
Merry Christmas on the chat, on the Q&A. Thanks so much, Vicky. Glad to have you here again. I recognize that name. Vicky Domini, thank you for being here with us, and Merry Christmas to you as well. Next question from Robert. Will this work for four-legged characters or free bone as long as the motions are installed?
yes.
Good question. Do you want to answer that, Mark, or should I?
I
Or
mean,
go for it. Go,
yes,
Mark.
like everything we covered today, as long as you have the motion clips, yes, that works for four leg characters, for free bone characters, as long as you, for example, for some free bone characters where let's say that you were animating a snake and you animated manually, you just save that as a clip and then put it on the put the motion clip on the puppet stage and you can activate it with the press of a button. So yes, for everything.
Right. Just answering Don's comment there. Don's super fan of the software. I've seen him many times before. All right.
Okay.
Next question from Mohammed again here. How to connect an object motion with mouse click and a G3 character, like a spy moving and firing. So I think that's a question about puppet stage. So you can have a character. You can press like the W or the Q button or whatever, and have your character do the motion
Yeah, yeah,
and,
yeah.
and fire. Yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's and okay, Esther, you in the chat she says, "Can you say quick hi to Cherry?" Cherry, hello, Cherry. I don't know if you
Hi,
can.
Cherry.
Hopefully
Merry
the
Christmas.
kid didn't go away and you're here, Cherry. All right, hello, bye bye.
All right. The question from Mohammed was about clicking fire. I think we answered that question already. We're answering questions we're 30 minutes behind on the questions, so unfortunately we're
No.
not going to be able to get all everyone's questions. We have a very active group today. Thank you so much for all the
Yeah,
questions,
that's
guys.
cool.
Um, okay, so Wasim, how do we put a character or monkey or animal? Okay, I don't really know the details of that question. So,
Good
but you can use monkeys and other animals. We have it on our
marketplace.
videos on our site. So Solomon asks Mark, what is your biggest animation project to date? What do you think, Mark?
Woo! Okay. I can say the biggest I did I was the anime scene some time ago. The like the motion comics. After that, one I have in mind is anime scenes combined with some motion, like what is it called? Motion comic. So like a combination. But one I got involved right now is with an animation with my girlfriend, and she's trying to put it on the contest. So that is pretty kind of ambitious, and we're trying to see if we can make it in time. So yeah, it's from her imagination. She's super creative, like this dragon in space, and it's an interesting race of aliens. So yeah, that would be the biggest animation project to date.
All right, and then that's coming up, or that's
That's coming up as kind of combining motion clip with a little bit of 3D and a lot of digital painting. She's insanely good at digital painting.
awesome. Right on. All right, so we'll look forward to that. You can check back on Mark's site for I'm sure updates on that. Question from Buddy Duran. With every version, cartoon anime gets better and better. Please, when is the next version? Thank you for that. Next version, cartoon animated. What are we at right now? We're at
3.
5.3, right?
5.3 is the latest one. Yes.
Yeah. So not yet. It'll. I think end of next year is when our our calendar is set to release Cartoon Animator 6. I think end of next year. I think Q4. So like 1 year from now, maybe. Yeah, I think that's what it's at right now, but I can't give too much information away on this kind of thing. But
Or else the SWAT will go there. Shut up! Don't tell the secret.
yeah, it's like, oh, did I say too much? I don't know. We're not too strict on that, anyways. But all right. Okay, so Esther, yeah, she's very a cat on the shoulder, a boy who has a cat on the shoulder. Would you
Mhm.
recommend creating two separate characters for the puppet stage so they can have expressions at the same time?
I would recommend so,
Um,
yes, and have the cat link to the other character.
yeah, I think that's probably the best answer. I think probably Mark, you probably have more experience in puppet stage than me at this point. You know, I learned it for the tutorials, but I haven't really used it in context
Oh,
in a
me too,
project and stuff. So
but since also because uh, students wanting to use it, etc. So yeah, I haven't used it for myself, but I just find it interesting. I'm more like running things, running teams.
it's fantastic. It's
Uh,
fantastic. I think it's such a cool tool, to be honest. All right, we'll go to Robert. Okay, we're gonna do like one more question. We'll do one like two more. We'll do Robert and Adrian. Adrian's next, and then we'll cut off the Q&A. So Robert asks, in Cartoon Animator 2, the characters were somewhat 3D. Will you bring that back in CTA 6? Very good question, Robert. Yes, we will. We are like I mentioned earlier, we are working on full 360 characters. We are working on that template. Like Mark said, it's going to be a little bit more complicated in terms of character creation. A lot more complicated. You have to do way more work to create those characters. We're trying to make it as easy as possible at this time, but yeah, we will have 3D characters in the future. So you can look forward to that in CTA 6. I can confirm that. I think I'm allowed to say that. Anyways, Adrian asks, is it possible to use animated characters with live motion capture as a kind of real-time avatar for streaming, for example, using OBS? Yes, 100%. Adrian, good question. We do have a I made a tutorial, I think is 2 or 3 weeks, 3 weeks ago maybe, about having a character using a cartoon animated character for live streaming. I'm not sure, Mark, have you actually used a character for live streaming from Cartoon Animator?
Never. We did a whole webinar on it. I've never ever used it, but I have a couple of students who were using it for a little bit and then they stopped using it. It's like, ooh, it's something new, and then, but I think it's good for VTubers, right? Like someone who actually like devotes a lot in a character, and then that character represents them all the time from here on. But we have a webinar, Adrian, on that. Like you can check the webinars on Revolution.
Yeah, the webinar archive. I think we did that
Yeah.
before. Yeah, definitely. Some people use cartoon animator characters for live streaming in a lot of cases. If you go to our website, we have showcases on that stuff. Just our website. Not sure where it is on the website, but there's a Reillusion blog basically, and it gives like basically all the cool things people do with Reillusion software. It shows you all that stuff, and yeah, I recommend checking that out. All right. So you know what? We're gonna call it a night or call it a morning. I think it's a night in Mexico, right? Or
Right
yeah,
now,
it's night
yeah,
in
in
Mexico. Yeah.
Mexico, Mexico is 8 p.m.
Yep. It's
my
time
city.
to go watch some hockey. for, for me, anyway, like, as a Canadian, I subscribe to hockey channels, anyways. Um, yeah, I want to thank everyone so much for being here, and thank you so much, Mark, again for being with us today and showing all the features of Cartoon Animator. Fantastic webinar, fantastic demo. Um, Love to have all you guys here. Thanks so much for all the feedback and for the interaction. Anything you want to say, Mark, before we head off?
That's it. I honestly I had fun, and thank you guys for being so active. I enjoyed you guys like being glued to the keyboard and answering really fast. That was pretty fun.
Yeah, good job, Reillusion team, with the links. You guys were really
Yeah,
fast. Yeah,
like links like maybe we could boom, the link is already there. Like, whoa, the
yeah,
road runner like like arriving really fast. Really nice
exactly.
team, Revolution team, really nice.
All right, awesome. And this is going to be our last webinar until the next year. So I want to wish everyone Merry Christmas,
Merry
Happy New
Christmas.
Year's, and we will see you. I think the first webinar is on January 9th. That'll be me doing AccuPose stuff. Lovely to have everyone here. Happy holidays. Thank you again, Mark. And I'll see everyone on next year.
All
All right. Good night,
right.
everyone.
Take care.